Right now, I want to welcome to the program the Executive Director of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, Dr. Jane Orient. Dr. Orient, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. You have a new article in the Journal of American Physicians and Surgeons. Research fails to support a gun control agenda. And it's important that people understand here there is a large school of thought that gun control laws are needed as part of a public health agenda, correct?
Yes, and actually organized medicine has been pushing that idea for a long, long time.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen this going back to the early '90s. It probably goes back even longer than that. And so, you say that there's not really any research that supports the idea that gun control as public health is actually effective.
Well, there's lots of evidence, but it really doesn't support that idea. The best evidence that we have was collected by John Lott, who looked at thousands of counties at law enforcement data that seems to show that more guns mean less crime, that concealed carry laws have diminished crimes of all kinds, including homicide, and that more stringent gun control measures seem to be associated with more crimes, rapes, assaults, even murders. But the gun control people don't like to accept that, so they criticize John Lott, but they've not really been able to refute him, and the studies that they have come up with just don't show what they would like to show. Namely, they don't show that if you have universal background checks that we'll stop having mass shootings or murders.
Yeah, and you say there's a study much cited in the Journal of American Medical Association that purports to show that there is less quote-unquote gun violence when there is more restrictive gun laws. But you say that effect disappears only if you look at homicides, not if you look at homicides and suicides.
Yeah, very interesting. The study by Fliegler and some others has been quoted very widely, has gotten a lot of press, and it lumps together gun violence as suicides and homicides. And yes, you do see a correlation between fewer suicides in those states which have more gun laws, but this effect completely disappears if you just look at homicides.
So, look, Dr. Orient, I got to ask you this because it seems to me that physicians should be results-oriented, right? I mean, the goal is to make people better if they're sick, to heal someone. You want that outcome. So if gun control laws don't actually make a difference, and again, I think we're well aware of the lack of success in terms of gun control laws bettering the lives of Chicagoans or residents of Washington, D.C., why is there this continued decades-long insistence that this, in fact, is where we need to be putting our emphasis and putting all of our focus?
The only way I can really understand it is because there is a political agenda, that there are people who just believe that we should have civilian disarmament, that nobody should be allowed to have a gun without the permission of the federal government and without constant recertification. And anything that gets us toward that goal they'll be in favor of. If it isn't effective, they'll say, well, it's just the first step. It's the right thing to do, but it's just the first step. Well, what is the final goal? Where do you stop?
Yeah. It's a great question. And, taking it outside of the gun control debate for a second, is this the same attitude that says we need to ban soda in 20-ounce portions? We need to ban sugary soft drinks. We need to go after these objects rather than empowering and educating people to make responsible choices?
I think it's the same sort of idea that there's a group of people who are just smarter and better than the rest of the population, and we need to control the bad behavior of those less intelligent citizens for their own good, of course.
Right. Oh, of course. Now, is it? I'm just curious, Doctor Orion. It seems to me that a lot of these folks who think that they know better often have some self-control problems in their own life. Have you perhaps anecdotally noticed things like that too?
Well, it would be anecdotally. I think there's a lot of experience to show that the people who are the most zealous about something are often those who had the problem themselves, like those who have quit smoking, maybe the most vigorous zealots to make other people stop,
Right.
or recovering alcoholics maybe very evangelical about drinking.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Do you see any of this changing in the medical community? Are there other doctors out there who a growing number of doctors who feel like you do?
We just have to remember that the AMA and other branches of organized medicine, like the American College of Physicians, speak for themselves. They do not speak for doctors. Fewer than 15% of practicing physicians are members of the AMA, so the AMA really can't pretend to represent their opinions.
That's absolutely. That's very good to keep in mind. Dr. Orion, again, I really appreciate you coming on the program, and it's great talking to you this afternoon.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Dr. Jane Orion, Executive Director of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons.